ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि श्री हरिप्रिय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। तव Kathamrtam. This title has been taken from Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam. Huh. It's from actually Venu Geet, right?
Yeah, that's right. But the content has less to do with Venogate. I think there's might be one story to do out of that, and a lot of stories from a lot of different places, I think.
Yeah, Kathamritam, Krishna, Nectarian talks about Krishna. Based on the writings of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and previous acharyas. Shivaram Swami, okay. Lal Publishing. Actually, that has been written as a volume number 14.
Yeah, I know. It's got 14 written on the back, on the outside cover.
Yeah. Publishing manager Manorama Das. Initial editor for 2001, Keshav Bharati Goswami. Okay. Editrix. Editrix is a female of an editor. Yeah, there's Brij Sevaki. She's a very excellent personality.
Yeah.
Copy editor Mahabhav Das. Sanskrit editor Eva Luptak. Index Revati Devidasi. Artist Tarlakshi. Tarlakshi Devidasi. She's excellent designer. Right. And layout in pre-press, Sundara Rupa. Quotes from the books and lectures, letters, and conversation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Copyright the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust International 1966 to 1977, used with permission. Printed in Hungary. Readers interested in the subject matter of this book are invited to visit the following websites: www.shivaramswami.media. So many chapters. First part is Kusum Sarovar. Wow. Gardener of Govardhan, servant of Radha, appearance of Kusum Sarovar. Maharaj Vajranabh visits Vrindavan. Vajranabh meets Uddhava. Krishna's last words to Uddhava and Song of the Gopis. Gopi Git. Rasa dance, the second part. Krishna leaves the dance. Chandra Sarovar. Radha finds Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava. Radha Shyam, number 3. Their names, their qualities, their forms, their sweetness, part 2. His flute and her veena, and thunder and lightning, and 2 Krishnas of Vrindavan. Wow, now what is that? Really?
It looked a bit interesting. There were two Krishnas in Vrindavan, but I didn't work out who they were. I think one may be Radha, but I didn't get the final conclusion.
The about Sanskrit, this was these writings are now in usual things. Okay, let's start with preface. I began Tava Kathamrta in 2001, and while Keshav Bharti Goswami and I worked on it a little, our progress stopped in early 2003. Keshav Bharti Goswami lives at Govardhan in Srila Prabhupada Ashram. I had an occasion to see him several times whenever I used to pass through. He is a very avid bookworm type of devotee. And, and he's always busy in thoughts of the editing work of his god brothers. Keshav Bharati Goswami is literary, very genuine. Sometimes he talks on the subject and it is very engrossing. The editor must know everything in detail about the writings. So, Keshav Bharati Goswami is still there. And but I haven't not gone to Govardhan since quite some time. So I didn't have a chance, otherwise I always stop on my way to parikrama. I stopped going for parikramas. So, but Maharaj is still there. He doesn't come out of Govardhan as if he has taken vow. So, our progress stopped in early 2003. That this book has taken nearly 25 years to come to print deserves something of an explanation. So here it is. Initially, Tava Kathamrta was to be the third installment in the Krishna in Vrindavan series, following after Napariyaham. However, I temporarily put all writings aside while the question of whether I should or should not be writing such books became a controversy within some sector of ISKCON. And the debate died out, and while not exactly given blessings, I was given a green light to continue. Yet my heart was not fully satisfied. Others' doubt about my books had planted a seed of doubt in me. Wow. In February 2003, in the holy dham of Jagannath Puri, I spent the month writing Krishna Sangati. I would rise early, chant japa, write for 8 to 10 hours, and then late in the morning perform puja of Dayal Nitai Gaur Hari. At midday, I would swim with devotees in the waves sanctified by Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, honor Krishna Prasad, and rest. In the afternoon, I would take long japa walks on the beach, return for kirtan, and retire for the night. How much energy,
Yeah.
Maharaj. It was a restful time, a peaceful time, and the all pervading shelter of Lord Jagannath was all encompassing. Yet, As I dive deeper into Krishna's pastimes of living the meeting with the Vrajavasis, I long to reaffirm for myself the authorization by which I continue to write about Krishna's Vrajalila. I wanted to resolve the doubt I harbored of my own qualification to write Krishna Lila, especially Krishna's pastimes with the gopis. The subject matter of Vraja Bhakti is indefinitely deep. Krishna's exchanges with the gopis are inescapably intertwined with Vraja Lila and are the domain of the liberated souls. And here I was writing of this topic like a proverbial dwarf trying to capture the moon. Mm. I had heard the call to write about Krishna's pastime many years ago, and the more I wrote, the louder the call became. But the spiritual challenge in writing Krishna Sangati stirred a sense of unease that I needed to placate. Um, There are three factors that authorize Gaudiya Vaishnavas to write transcendental literature: the Gaudiya tradition, the order of Guru, and the order of Krishna. About the Gaudiya tradition, Srila Prabhupada writes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed his disciples to write books on the science of Krishna, a task which those who follow him have continued to carry out the present day. Number one,
Teachings of Lord Chaitanya's mission.
Then, as my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada had ordered his disciples, you should write, every one of you, what you have realized about Krishna. That is required. But you have to write also what you have heard from your spiritual master and from the scripture. Number two.
Lecture, Brahma Samhita, verse 32, Los Angeles, 14th of August, 1972.
And finally, Srila Prabhupada emphasized Krishna's fundamental role in authorizing Vaishnava literature. A Vaishnava always follows the order of Guru and Krishna. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami took permission from both, and when he received the mercy of both Guru and Krishna, he was able to write this great literature, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This example should be followed. Anyone who attempts to write about Krishna must first take permission from the spiritual master and Krishna. Number three.
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 8th chapter, 73rd verse, purport.
Sitting at my desk, looking out at the ocean and its never ending waves, I reflected upon the three factors that had first inspired me to write. As a follower of the followers of Lord Chaitanya, I knew I should write. As a follower of Srila Prabhupada and his orders, I had to write. And as one who had heard Krishna saying within my heart, please write, I had no choice. Yet, the ever unfolding intimacy of Vraja Leela, the daunting task of making it available to a devotee audience, and an uneasiness within my heart forced me to again take stock of my qualification. I longed for some confirmation. I would lie awake long into the night, reflecting and praying. When sleep came, it was fitful, and I would awaken frequently, calling out to Lord Jagannath. All of a sudden, my peaceful writing uh, retreat had lost its serenity. My time for respite had become a time of challenge. Then one day, while leafing through Chaitanya Charitamrita, I gained strength from the following sloka. Sri Chaitanya Prasadena Tabarupasya Vinirnayam Balo api kurute shastram drashtva vraja vilasanam. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even a foolish child can fully describe the real nature of Lord Krishna, the enjoyer of the pastimes of Braja, according to the vision of the revealed scriptures. Number 4.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 4th chapter, 1st verse.
If a foolish child can describe Vrajalila, I thought, then why not I? Lord Chaitanya's mercy is powerful beyond compare. Is it not the order of the superior authorities, the intelligence to write, and the overwhelming endorsement of ISKCON's member confirmation that Lord Chaitanya, who can empower even children, has endorsed the effort to write the Krishna in Vrindavan series? Srila Prabhupada writes, one should not write books or essays on transcendental subject matter for the material name, fame, or profit. Transcendental literature must be written under the direction of the superior authority because it is not meant for material purposes. If one tries to write under the superior authority, he becomes purified. Number 5.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 11th chapter, 7th verse, purport.
This reasoning was powerful evidence in support of my case, but I knew that some Vaishnavas outside ISKCON would reject it. These Vaishnavas doubted that Lord Chaitanya has blessed my effort. They doubted that I was qualified to write, and they even doubted that ISKCON's members are qualified to evaluate what I wrote. I knew that those devotees would only be satisfied, if at all, with some objective form of evidence that would be visible to everyone. They would want to see irrefutable proof of Lord Chaitanya's empowerment. The challenge reminded me of the young Brahman's dilemma in the story of Sakshi Gopal. Only the personal testimony of the deity would satisfy to skeptical audience who doubted the honesty of the young Brahmana. This was the kind of evidence my critics would accept, but could I, an inconsequential and even dare to hope that the Lord would satisfy or testify on my behalf? As the days stretched into weeks, I continued my writing, bathing in the ocean and walking. Yet I was troubled. In the solitude of my room, I prayed to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please be merciful to me. Please give me the special sign to confirm the authority of my pen. I perceived the Lord's undeniable presence in the Dham, in his deity, and in his name. Yet my request for extraordinary recognition remained outstanding. Then one day, an argument with my disciple Krishna Lila Devi Dasi sparked a chain of events that resulted in a reciprocation beyond all expectation. 2 years prior, I had lent Krishna deities to help her through the time of her personal difficulty. With that difficulty now past, I asked her to return my Radha Krishna as I missed them. You can get some other deities, she said defensively. But those deities come to me of their own accord, I replied. I don't want to go looking for Krishna in the market. I'm sure he will come to you if you ask him, she replied. And that was that. I was hurt and did not reply. Not only was she kidnapping my deities, she was lecturing me on why should I comply with her demands. I continued my puja of Gaur Nitai and calmed down. I looked at the beautiful deity of Lord Chaitanya and thought, anyway, you are Radha and Krishna. Why should I look elsewhere when they are present in you? This was my conviction. Lord Chaitanya was Radha Krishna, but a desire to serve the gold and sapphire color forms of Radha Shyam persisted in my heart. And with that growing compulsion, I began to think of how could I acquire some new deities of my own. As I said before, Gornitai, the sound of crashing waves mingled with my churning thoughts. Then spontaneously the form of Krishna appeared in my mind. It was the form of a deity I knew well, the form of Radha Damodar. The deities who resided in nearby temple of Jagadananda Pandit, deities who had been the personal deities of Swarup Damodar Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal associate and secretary. But would they come to me? Although not the presiding deities in the temple. Rather, the other were of historical significance with the following of their own. Swarup Damodar, Lalita Devi in Krishna's pastime had served Radha Damodar with love and devotion. Lord Chaitanya had taken darshan of these deities and honored their prasad. After living in Puri for 500 years, would Radha Damodar now travel to the west? Would they leave behind their local admirers for the service of ISKCON devotees? I did not know, but a spark of possibility smoldered upon the tinder of my desire to serve them. My eyes closed, I continued to meditate upon the form before me. Krishna's appearance was distinctive. Instead of holding the flute to his right side, he held it to his left, offering it to Srimati Radharani. By comparison to his 15 and a half centimeter height, beautiful Radhika was petite only at 11 centimeter. Number 6.
This is the size of Radha's and Damodara's bodies. Their stands add an extra 4 centimeters and 4.5 centimeters respectively.
And above all, they perfectly resemble the deities of Radha Shyam and Nivrajatam deities whom I perceived and worshipped in every form of Radha Krishna. Why not call them? I thought to myself, will you ever forgive yourself if you don't try? At least you should try. Very well, then I replied to Krishna Lila, that is just what I will do. I will ask Radha Shyam to come to me. And that was the beginning of the wonderful pastimes. Whose, wow, look at that.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Shri Radha Damodar, the deity, is originally worshipped by Swarup Damodar Goswami in Puri. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Krishna is looking at Radharani. She's a pity. Good. So ending so marvelously, fulfilled all desires and answered all questions. I will not go through the daily negotiations Tarakanath Prabhu undertook for Radha Damodar's service, or the nightly strategy meeting of our group of pilgrims. Nor will I describe the auspicious sign that encouraged our venture, nor the devastating near failures that almost made us give up. These pastimes contain too much details for a book's preface and could easily fill a book on its own. Suffice to say that after intensifying my effort to a favorite speech, Lord Jagannath, the all cognizant master of Puri, took pity on us and finally fulfilled my desire. Thus, by his grace, one day near the end of our visit, when the sun was highest in the sky and the waves washed hot bubbles over our feet, our small pilgrim group carried Radha Damodar along the ocean shore to our garden residence. Accompanied by Kirtan, we entered what served as our temple room. and carefully placed the deities on the table. I paid obeisances and offered prayers, my heart's echoing the wonder of my disbelief that I set before the two tarnished golden forms before me. As I did, the weeks-long adventure of acquiring Radha Damoda receded into the background. I had become so engrossed in acquiring them and that I had forgotten the original reason I had called them. Now that they had come, I again remembered my desire for special sign from Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu's secretary, without whose permission no one could recite him any composition, book, or drama, had given me his personal deities. He had given me Radha Krishna, the source of Rajalila. It was a sign, plain and simple. Swarup Damodar Goswami has accepted my composition, and if he had, then so had Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This was the sign that I had requested, but a sign even more explicit than I had dared imagine, a sign visible to everyone, a sign standing on the table before me in the form of Radha Damodar. I bowed before the deities for a long time, and in the presence of others, I restrained the expression of the emotions welled up within me. When my heart was finally peaceful, I thought Lord Chaitanya has blessed my compositions of Rajalila on Rajalila. I sat up and repeated this verse from Prarthana. Lalita Vishakha Adi Jata Sakhi Vranda Agya Kori Bo Seva Charanaravinda. When, following the orders of Lalita, Vishakha, and other gopis, I will serve the lotus feet of the divine couple. When. Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishore. So, number 7.
Pratna, Saki Vrinde Vigyapti.
The service of Radha and Krishna, which includes glorification of their pastimes, depend upon the order of Agya of the gopis. Without the permission of the gopis headed by Lalita Devi, no one can have access to Radha Krishna's pastimes. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains this principle. The pastimes of Radha and Krishna are very confidential. They cannot be understood through the mellows of servitude, fraternity, and parental affection. I should cite our own experience of our own personal deities, Radha Shyam Sundar, how they entered in my life. In the year 1977, when I was first initiated, I was given about 6.5, 7-inch Radha Damodar deities by my mentor and leader, Adikeshu Swami. Within that short period of his Swamihood also. But that was the gift he gave me, along with Srila Prabhupada's beads, chanted for my japa. And the deities were with me. And I gave these deities that they should be worshipped. So Atmaram and Revati Mata, they took charge of them. And they were since then worshipped. And I would go even from New York to Pittsburgh to help them establishing deity, and as usual, living in an apartment, disturbing the neighbors for Mangal Aarti by blowing the conch shells and whatever the tantrums that we have to undergo through, uh, they had desired to install. But very next step, after receiving those deities, Revati Mata brought me Radha Shyam Sundar. He said, I should also have my Radha Shyam Sundar. Okay. So this is now the exchange of Radha Damodar and Radha Shyam Sundar was entered in my life. So Radha Shyam Sundar was worshipped from the very beginning. When I was given the task to install Srinathji, you would see the early pictures of Srinathji and Radha Shyamsundar under him. The size is almost 25-fold different.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, and uh, since then I was worshipping, I was taking the deity, travel throughout the world, so many times with the deities. Then in early 90, no, early 2000, uh, I was traveling international with passing through so many times. One time I had to go through from New York to Vrindavan, means New Delhi, via Saudi Airlines. Wow. Saudi Airlines, and I had to stay overnight at Jeddah airport, for which I had to have um, a transit visa also. Otherwise, they would not allow. Because the ticket was cheap, therefore, but my Radha Shyam Sundar was there with me. And um I had a vivid experience. So in transit, I have to go through security, and the security guy saw my deities. He said, "What is this? What is this? What is this?" Uh, then I told uh, uh, they are they are the form of the Supreme Lord. You find, I have seen, I have seen. He interrupted me. I have seen them in Bangkok. I was going through. I saw so many of them, and they are in this. Oh, I see. No, that's So I'm caring with very care and worship them. Oh no, okay, okay. So he was respectful. Otherwise, I have heard that in Saudi Arabia, they have thrown Laddu Gopal, because some hard not Muslim would not want to touch because it will be napak for them. And I heard they have thrown like a toy uh, that don't bring ever. And devotees were chastised earlier. If they are residing, they are not allowed to carry deity even through. Neither they can keep in their home if they have been working in Saudi Arabia. Oh my God. So I also thought that why should I risk? Then I started teaching Lavanglata Mataji, how to worship Radha Shyam, and she was taking care. And at that time, we were having our rooms in Krishna Balaram guest house, and that's about it. So That was the time about 1998 onwards, when I became the mm, regional secretary of North India, and um, a lot of services. I had some pastimes of Radha Shyam Sundar during this tenure. But then after 2004, uh, you know, we started staying in Radhe Dham, and I got an idea that I would like to create an ashram for Matajis where they can take care, you know, and that's how our uh, um, ashram for Radheshyam has been set up, and 256 to 57 Chaitanya Vihar phase 1, uh, and they have been ever taken care by Longlata Mataji's and her team of uh, devotees. So, because it was too difficult to carry through Muslim countries as well as, oh my God, you never know. Uh, so this is a very important uh, entry of Radha Shyam Sundar in our life, and they are still worshipped with pomp and goodness. They also celebrate every year their Patotsav, means establishment in Vrindavan. They are not going out anywhere outside of Vrindavan. So everyone should have an important, entry of Radha Krishna deities or Gaurnitai deities in their life, who are our ultimate worshipable. So at least in that reference, wherever I have installed Radha Krishna deities, I always give them name Radha Shyam Sundar. So everybody got Radha Shyam Sundar of varied size. I have uh, installed 2 feet high deities also. And along with our Radha Shyam Sundar, 2 feet high Radha Shyam Sundar are also residing everywhere. One is in Brisbane, Radha Shyam Sundar worshipped by Medhavi Prabhu and Jai Shri Mataji. Another Radha Shyam Sundar is being worshipped in Cairns, and they are also of the same size, and everybody is engaged in worship of the deities, so intensified that their life is successful. So this is the kind of entry of the Lord in our life, and it should be ever cherished. You can't forget them. Wherever I would go install, even in the new temple of our Madhasa temple, it's Radha Shyam Sundar and nobody else. Radha Shyam Sundar. Radha Krishna Pranamura Jugala Kishore. Jivane Marane Aranahimo. All right. Um, So, service of Radha and Krishna, which include glorification of their pastimes, depends upon the order of Agya of the gopis. Without permission of the gopis headed by Lalita Devi, no one can have access to Radha Krishna's pastimes. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains this principle. Uh, the pastimes of Radha and Krishna are very confidential. They cannot be understood through the mellows of fraternity, or parental affection. Actually, only the gopis have right to appreciate these transcendental pastimes, and only from them can these pastimes be explained. So I have come here uh, to install Lalita Vishakha in Fiji. We are getting ready. I had to the darshan of Lalita Vishakha, and all settings have been done. They will be installed on the 5th of this coming days. Today is today is 1st
Today's
July.
30th. Today's 30th of June.
Oh,
1st is tomorrow.
31st. Oh,
No,
yes.
today is the 30th. There is no
Yeah,
there is no
31st.
31st. There is no 31st. We're first
Oh,
is
oh, sorry. No, okay, okay. So about 6 days from now, and we'll be, you know, getting more, revelations. Of course, it was very hard scrutiny. For 10 years, they have been waiting, Lalita Vishakha, you know, because we were not qualified. There is no excuse. Even though we have to go through so many political, you know, uh, oppositions, but we remain confirmed. And finally, you know what, you would not be surprised. We were asked questions. Uh, are these ISKCON deities? Uh, have they been purchased with the title ISKCON? Uh, and lo and behold, uh, I purchased myself 10 years back, you know, and I got the invoice. Of course, it was addressed to one of our shipping company at that time, that with other preparations and artifacts that we were shipping out, rather Lalita Vishakha were also being transported. So the consignment was given to them, so it was addressed to them. But it was written for Singatoka, ISKCON Singatoka, and under care of Vedvyas Priya Swami. Wow, this was a marvelous thing that appeared. And I had to submit this certificate. He said, oh, okay, okay, Maharaj, okay, no problem. Now everything is set up. I said, you set up the date and now we want to go. So Guru Mataji, Gita Kirti, all are in high spirits right now. I just arrived yesterday here, and because of the time difference, we are talking today about it is essential to have the mercy of Lalita Vishakha to go deeper into the service attitude, even mentally, of Radha Krishna. So the pastimes of Radha Krishna are very confidential. They cannot be understood through the methods of servitorship, fraternity, or paternal affection. Actually, only the gopis have the right to appreciate these transcendental pastimes, and only from them can these pastimes be expanded. Without the gopis, these pastimes between Radha and Krishna cannot be nourished. Only by their cooperation are such pastimes broadcast. It is their business to taste the mellows. Number 8.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 8th chapter, 201st to 203rd verses.
Right. After I had repeatedly begged that the order from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's merciful Lord Jagannath had directed Swarup Damodar Goswami to place his personal deities in my hands, and so my two desires were fulfilled. First, I received tangible evidence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessings upon my writings. Second, I was blessed with the personal service of Radha Damodar, a service that would mitigate my feelings of separation from Radha Shyam Sundar. Wow. So we installed Radha Damodar in Singatoga. And my next project is installing Radha Shyam Sundar in Thailand. Shyam Sundar. Shyam Sundar. So I was now fully satisfied. More than that, I was in bliss. I had read such wonders, but had never imagined that they would happen to me. Can you understand? It should somehow or other, in some way, Lord Krishna is entering in our worshipable deitic form. And so it was that Tava Kathamrta continued to languish in my files. After Radha Damodar came to me, I continued with Krishna in Vrindavan series, and Navabraja Mahima happened. Perhaps it was too much of a reminder of early criticism. In 2002, I nearly deleted it by accident, and so I moved the file and stored it in my computer. Then, as fate would have it, I completely forgot about it. Fast forward to 2023, I was cleaning my computer and came across the hidden file Tava Kathamrta. When I mentioned to Brajasevaki Devidasi, my editor, that I had found a long lost book, she insisted I immediately send it to her to avoid me losing it for another 20 years. After reading the book, Braj was so enchanted that, although working on Vilap Kusumanjali, she insisted that we immediately edit and polish Tavakathamrit and print it. She said, devotees will love it. They will eat it up. It is so delicious. Uh, Braj Seviki is using these words. And so Lal team set about turning the long forgotten manuscript into this book. I had only one condition. I did not want to engage in editing or the production or have anything to do with the content. I was working on my Patrankita commentaries of Sri Vilap Kusumanjali, Patra Ankita, written on the leaf, uh, commentaries of Sri Vilap Kusumanjali. And it had become my sole focus. I did not want any distraction, and I knew if I were to look at Tava Kathamrita, I would add, change, write, and alter the content, and consequently be pulled away from my Vilap Kusumanjali commentary. The only exception I made was to view the artwork. Taralakshi Devidasi had also almost completed her work on the book 20 plus years ago, his manuscript. I had not seen her work since then, and so her editions and updates were sent to me. I consequently feel that this book is as new to me as it to the readers. Tava Kathamritam. Vaishnavas neither glorify themselves nor do they like others to do so. However, as exemplified by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, an author may inevitably cite evidence that describes how he was the recipient of the Lord's grace to certify the authority of his writing. Number 9.
Number 9. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 8th chapter, 65th to 84th verses, the author describes how he was ordered to write this epic by the order of the Vaishnavas, and how the deity Madan Mohan, who dictated the entire book to him, confirmed that order.
Nonetheless, the same author simultaneously thinks himself an unqualified instrument in the hands of superior authorities. The story of how Radha Damodar came to accept the service of this unqualified person in their pastime, I have described it in support of the authority of the book in the Krishna in Vrindavan series. If my readers object to what appears to be self-glorification in the story of Radha Damodar, I apologize them from the core of my heart. What else can I do? These pastimes and their exceptional mercy should be known. I am ignorant, low born, and full of material desires, yet by the constant encouragement of the Vaishnavas and the Lord, I continue to write books about Krishna's Brajalila. Shivaram Swami Budapest में 30th 2024. All right, so the old stuff comes as new. Uh, these are the notes that Mataji read. Beautiful paintings of part 1 Kusum Sarovar. Yeah. Chapter 1, The Gardener of Govardhan. Can we go further?
Yeah, I think some of these early stories are quite short. Some of the later ones get a little longer, but the early ones are quite short.
Okay. The Gardener of Govardhan. Every year in the last week of Ashwin, the festival of Sanji is observed in Vrindavan. Uh, it is the autumn, and to celebrate, the residents of Navraja adorn their courtyards and exterior walls with artistic drawings. Number 1.
The subject of this chapter is a rendering of Lokavichar, traditional narrations as told by the residents of Vrindavan about the origin of Kusum Sarovar. Other leelas are rendered from Ujjvala Nilamani, chapter 6, 7, and 10, and Govinda Lilamrita, chapter 7, 8, and 9.
So artistic Sanji drawings are there. The young girls of the villages compete to make almost beautiful pictures of cows, gopis, elephants, peacocks, and auspicious symbols fashioned from the colored rice flour and cow dung and decorate with flowers. On the first day of the festivals in Barshana, Radhika rises early, keen to participate in the event. The princess is bathed and dressed by her maid servants in a new blue sari and calls together her intimate friends. Radha is at the threshold of the adolescence, Vaya Sandhi, and thus loving feelings for Krishna are awakened in her heart. Her eyes are restless and her smile is mild, and her lips are bound by the sheer sash and trimming with tinkling bells. Wow. Oh, sorry. Her eyes are restless, her smile is mild, and her hips are bound by the sheer chest, uh, trimming with tinkling bells. The childish behavior of the girls has retreated, and in its stead, a different kind of bearing and speech, sprinkled with shyness and hidden meanings, is prominent. Surrounded by close friends like Lalita, Vishakha, Chitra, Radha sits in the courtyard of King Vrishabhanu's palace, her voice quiver with excitement. Sakhis, today is the first day of Sanji. We must beautify our homes. We simply cannot be outdone by Chandravali, Bhadra, or Shyamala. Lalita claps her hands and exclaims, Wonderful, wonderful. When do we start? Following Lalita's lead, the young gopis respond in unison. When do we start? When do we start? Radha raises her palm in gesture of uncertainty. I do not know. There is a problem. And until it is resolved, we cannot begin our decorations. The gopis are suddenly silent. Tungvidya asked, Problem? Problem? What? What is the problem? Is there a shortage of rice flour or cow dung in Varshana? The gopis laughed in chorus. Silly, there is plenty of rice flour and cow dung is available everywhere. Chitra says, Sakhi Radha, why can we not start decorating? Radha lifts her hand, the veil of her sari drifting over her forearm. Beautiful decorations. We need many flowers. But here in Varshana, there are no flowers or blooming forest, only our parents' garden, and are strictly reserved for the family deities. The gopis again fall silent, but soon take up their melodious chatter. What shall we do? Ask one. I do not know, reply another. How will Sanji go on without flowers? Cried a third. The princess of Barshana thinks for a moment and then calms her friends. I have a plan that will resolve everything. Rupa and Rati gaze at Sri Radha with love. Oh, do tell us. Pausing again to catch their attention, Radha says, Sakhis, there may not be many flowers on the stony crags of Varshana, but in Pushpavan we can collect as many flowers as we like. Chitra objects, Pushpavan? Pushpavan? Why Pushpavan? Is at the far end of the Giri Govardhan? Radha replies excitedly, Yes, that is why we must start our morning duties early and moving like the wind, complete them within a fraction of the usual time. Then, taking permission from our parents, we shall meet here again and swiftly go to Pushpavan to collect flowers. Thinking Radha's proposal most agreeable, the gopis of Varshana raised a joyous din and embraced her as they would their very lives. They are pleased at the prospect of beginning Sanji in a spectacular way. The adventure to Pushpavan sounded like just like the medicine to cure the boredom of the household chores. And besides, perhaps someone else may be picking up flowers at Pushpavan. The excited girls run in different directions like multicolored lava flowing from a volcano. They go about their duties like never before, drawing water, making patties, and cutting vegetables, all the while singing the glories of Vrindavan, the autumn and of Sri Radha. The gopis' parents were very affectionate to their daughters. Observing the diligent labor of the young gopis, each parent thinks, My little girl has grown up and is now a beautiful, responsible woman. I must quickly find a suitable husband to protect her newfound vitality. The Gopis brothers notice the flurry of activities in their homes and quickly uncover their sister's plan. Guided by Radha's brother Sridham, the Gopas also resolve to herd their cows near Govardhan hill to join the fun of collecting flowers at Pushpavan. News of the day's excursion quickly spread from Rashana to Nandagram, and an excited group of cowherd boys gathered in courtyard below Krishna's bedroom's window. With great love, Subala cries out, Oh friend, oh Gopal, wake up at once. Today is a great adventure waits us. You are sleeping, but the cows will not give milk until they see your shining lotus face. The cowherd boys respond to Subala's words by blowing buffalo horns and playing flutes, and combined tumult starts uh, startles Tandavika, Krishna's pet peacock. Hmm. The parrots, Daksha and Vichakshana, fly to balcony railing and sing, "Glory, glory is to you, and the source of auspiciousness for Gokula. O Govinda, your every step increase the joy of Nanda and of all surrounded souls." As the boys' eagerness grows, so too does the pandemonium they raise. Uh, when would Krishna come? Eventually, Hari appears in his balcony doorway like a monsoon cloud draped in lightning. His curly hairs fall about his shoulders, and his eyes are still red from sleep, and his teeth sparkle like pearls. Like Radha, Krishna has just crossed the threshold of adolescence. Just as the forest displays different climates and foliages in different seasons, so Krishna displayed various physical, mental, and emotional symptoms according to his age. His bodily lustre shine like an Indranil jewel, a reddish border spread around his eyes, and a small soft hair appear on his body. The tips of his nails are as delicate as bamboo leaves, and his reddish teeth reflect the growing fullness of the bimba fruit lips. Uh, his eyebrows, which resemble the bow of Cupid, sometimes danced clearly, indicating his growing interest in young girls. Captivated by Krishna's smile, the gopis are completely bewildered, uh, and in this condition, they are unable to express themselves to others. The young girls of Braja celebrate the Kaishora age of Krishna, but his parents, servants, and friends are under the sway of pure devotion and are thus unable to recognize his newfound uh, adolescence. They see Krishna simply as a beautiful young boy, as Vichakshana flies into Krishna's shoulder. The cowherd boys cheer, and one Gopa shouts, "Sakha, today we are planning a special excursion." Govinda opens his eyes wide and silently replies. Another Gopa explained, "It is the first day of Sanji. All the girls headed by Vrishabhanu Nandini are going to collect flowers in Pushpavan, placing our cows and calves in lead. We should also go." Externally, Krishna shows little interest in this news, but internally his heart is restless with joy. While fragrant morning breeze caress his limbs, and Vichakshana paces back and forth across his shoulder, Hari thanks. This is good news. These gopis often complain about my pranks. This may be my chance to teach them a lesson. But then he reconsiders. But what about the Gopas? If they are with me, how can I mingle freely with Radha and her friends? At once a plan hatches in his mind. As the cowherd boys look on, Hari pretends to slacken his limbs and makes his eyes roll. Holding the railing of the balcony, Krishna shakes his as if with fever and holds his stomach, calling out again and again, "Oh, oh!" Solely his feeble condition. The parrots fly about Hari's head, and to alarm the boys, run into the palace and up the stairs. Pleased with his dramatic performance, Krishna quickly goes back into his room, lies down on his bed, and pulls the sheets over his head. Led by Baldev, the boys burst into the room, calling out, "Gopal, here I am, fear not." Overwhelmed by fraternal affection, they ran into Hari's bed and stamped him like relatives around departing soul. Seeing what Krishna is under the bed covers, Balaram put a finger to his lips and quiets the voice. Shh, shh. Balaram places a loving hand on Krishna and asks, Krishna, are you not well? Is something wrong? The boys hold their breath as Krishna moves slightly but makes no response. Some of the younger ones begin to cry as Dauji again rubs Krishna's arm, saying, Krishna, what can we do? Should we call the royal physician? By this time, the balcony is crowded with concerned monkeys, parrots, and peacocks, who have all heard the news that Krishna is illness. Just as Balram is again about to speak from beneath the shades, a raspy voice says, "Oh Dauji, I am not well." The voice is little more than a whisper, but somehow it carries to all corners of the room. With the drawn out words, Krishna continues to speak. I have such a bad headache. I am so tired. I could never walk behind the cows today. The boys took look at one another in disbelief. Krishna is not going out. How is that possible? Today I will stay in bed. You please care for the cows. Then he slowly rolls over and pulls the sheet tighter around his body. Ha 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 ha. Ah, look at then. Krishna is. As the cowherd boys look on, Hari pretends to slacken his limbs and makes his eyes roll. Holding the rail to the balcony, he shakes off with the fever and holds his stomach, calling out again, oh, oh. For a moment, everyone is silent. Only Balram, the knower of everything, understands that there is more to this illness than meets the eye. But he says nothing. He simply motions to his friend to leave. Then, with a last touch to Krishna's leg, Balram says, O Kana, I shall pray to Lord Narayan for your recovery. Surely you will feel better. Krishna lifts the sheet just enough to expose one dark bumblebee eye with the grateful glance, thanked his elder brother. Balram raises his crystal complexion, flashing through the room like a second sun as he strolls out the door, gathering his friends along the way. He resembles a baby elephant. When the boys reach the courtyard, they crowd around blue-clad Balram with valuable gems set around the brilliant diamond. Since Krishna would be absent for the day, Balram comforts the boys and stresses the need to reconsider their plan. What if a demon were to attack? Who would protect them? Would the cows be safe and happy? Balram's friend boasts that he, like Krishna, would quickly dispose of any threat. But in the end, everyone agrees that herding the pasture below Nandagram would be more prudent than going so far from Govardhan. And so, for cowherd boys, the Pushpavan outing is cancelled. Balaram. Reluctantly, the Gopas leave for the barn. They take their horns and flute and sticks, but leave their darling Kanai behind. As Balaram sets off, he casts one last look towards Krishna's bedchamber. Sure enough, hovering behind the embroidered curtain, a bluish black form monitors every step the Gopas take. That cloud like figure is Dauji watching, and still Delhi slips from the view, leaving behind a fluttering curtain. Balram was right. His younger brother had another plan for the day. Haldar smiles and placing his plough on his wide shoulders, he strides down the hill to his waiting friends. At an auspicious moment, Radha and her friends set out for Pushpavan, carrying flowers, baskets, and merrily chatting about their plans. The sun god appears above the horizon to worship Sri Radha, the source of his own effulgence. The air is crisp and clean, birds fly overhead, and flowers, bushes, vines, and trees blossom all around. Winding through the shaded groves of Champak, Ashok, and Nipad, Amra, Punanga, and Bakula, the path leading to Govardhan is a soft and sandy. Radhika moves like a young swan, occasionally stumbling from the happiness rising in her heart. Rupa Manjari walks in front, Lalita and Vishaka at each side, and Rati follows behind, ready to hold Radha's waist, and she could trip. When Lalita looks at Radha's flawless profile, she sees the face imprinted on the coins of Cupid. Uh, but Lalita knows that Radha's beauty is the only currency that can purchase an untamed elephant of Hari's heart. Not a beauty born of pious deeds or good fortune, but of love's full splendor. And only the complete embodiment of love, Sri Radha, can attract the son of Maharaj Nanda. Lalita calls, "Oh Vishakha Sakhi, the fragrant forest gardens of Govardhan Hill are carefully guarded by venomous serpents, especially one dangerous, the black snake. While collecting flowers, how will we be safe? Our Radha knows the magic potion to bring the most dangerous snakes under control. In her presence, we have nothing to fear. Vishaka, what you say may be true, but I know that our princess did not bring any potions with her. Look at her empty flower basket. That may be, but rest assured, Radha knows the Siddha mantra that can subdue any snake. Even if the king of serpents comes slithering down Govardhan Hill, Radha will cast a magical spell to bring him into submission. How did your princess acquire such a Siddha mantra, and when did she attain such perfection? As other gopis crowd closer, Vishaka's bluish eyes open wide, and with the dramatic flair, she tells the story. One day, while on the forest path, Radhika met by that ever roving Prince Krishna, relieved to find company, our Sakhi said, "Oh Shyam, this snake infested forest is not safe. I am afraid that I shall be punished by the bite of a snake bite, a poisonous snake, for neglecting goddess Katyayani." Excited by this revelation, the gopis cried out, and then Radha holds her head high as if indifferent, but her erect body hairs disclose her true feelings. Vishaka happily continues. Out of fear, Radha, who is very submissive, humbly beseech Krishna, "O you who played on the raised hoods of Kaliya, O Govinda, I'm surrendered to you. Please be kind and give me the mantra to counteract the venomous poisonous snakes." Lalita exclaims, "How interesting! Vishaka, did Radhika's guru impart to her a suitable snake mantra?" Vishaka replied, "Having sanctified Radharani and the Yamuna water, Shyama whispered a mantra in her ear. Then he collected the customary dakshina." One naughty gopi inquires, "What dakshina did Krishna Guru collect?" Vishaka smiled. "True to the form, this Guru of many arts did not collect a donation with his disciples' means. Motivated by greed, he extracted an inordinate payment. The gopis impishly begged. What payment was that? After whispering the mantra in Radha's right ear, Krishna kissed her glowing cheeks. The gopis giggled. Radhika embraced, veils her face, and cast a reproachable glance at Vishakha. To atone for releasing or teasing her mistress, Vishakha quiets the gopis and says, to be fair, Radhika needs no potion or mantra to bring black snakes under control. The mere syllable of her name, Radha, at once charms the snake king of Vrindavan and make him sway back and forth to the tune of her will, laughing and joking. And the gopis passed beneath the canopy of trees leading to Govardhan Hill. They arrive quickly, bewildering time itself and the speed of their journey. Sri Vrindavana Dhama is beyond the influence of material qualities. Such things at time, the modes of nature and the karma holds no sway in this transcendental realm. How then can its residents, uh, uh, so to speak, of its master and mistress, be affected by such mediocre forces? When Radha says, distant Govardhan Hill, she smiles and says, Sakhis, behold the best of Hari's servants. Following her lead, gopis offer pranams to Giriraj. Then they continue on, their sweet chatter trickling amongst each other, uh, like the sound of the mountain waterfalls. The gopis reach a clearing and see the king of mountains in his full splendor, mm, shining like the treasure chest of Indra. In some places it has a sapphire color Krishna, in others golden color Sri of Radha. And other places he is the ruby-like color of burgeoning passion, and still others the crystal color of Dauji. Here and there flourish dark and light jade forest, sub-forests, gardens, and pleasing meadows, the favorite grazing grounds of Govinda's cows. Govardhan's multi-hued foam shines with a multitude of bright jewel-like flowers that fill the air with the captivating aroma. And there are sprays of spring and sprays of pink, splashes of lavender, blushes of red, streaks of the gold tinged with saffron, tones of blue and shades of purple, a dazzling rainbow of color crowning the best of the mountains. Bees, deers, peacocks, and other birds play near Govardhan's turquoise lakes dotted along his length and breadth are jeweled courts, thrones, and swings. Bathing in the mid-morning sun, Giriraj shines with pure goodness, pleasing the heart of Radha and foremost of the gopis, the foremost of the gopis. Mm. Great devotees have described the form of Govardhan Hill to be shaped like a peacock. Punchari is its tail, Pushpavan is neck, and Radhakund and Shyamakund are two eyes. Arriving at their destination, the gopis are pleased by aromatic blossoms of Pushpavan's benevolent trees. Surrounded by millions of colorful flowers, the gopis spread out to fill their baskets, all the while singing of Krishna's heroic deeds. At first, Vraja gopis are within earshot of Radha and occasionally speak of her. One gopi calls out, Hey Radha, just see, Pushpavan is the virtual gold mine of fragrant flowers. Other gopi says, "Hmm." While their princess between them, they using their eyes to communicate, Lalita and Vishaka silently exchanges their concern of dangers Radha may meet in the forest, particularly one famous black serpent. uh, how much is it, Prabhus? Still?
Six. 6.5 pages more.
6.5 pages more.
Yeah.
Okay, today, after a long time, we can read, we can afford. I can.
Good, we'll enjoy.
All right. Oh, Sakhis, with the flowers we have gathered, our decorations will be most beautiful. Yet another gopi calls, this is a royal start of our festival. This Sanji will be the best yet. The gopis joyfully collect flowers, yet they themselves are the fragrant flowers of the Creator's skill. And their wall-like faces, petal-like arms, and ambrosial bodily aroma far exceed in beauty even the flowers of heaven. Fully absorbed in the thought of Govind, the beautiful Radhika sets about filling her basket. Although she wants to collect many flowers, she is distracted by her absorption in love, and so her basket remains empty. Radha remembers the previous day when, in the presence of her relatives, Krishna crossed the pathway of her eyes, glowing with youthful beauty. Fearful that her superiors would detect her attachment, she looked away as if uninterested. But clever Lalita tugged at her little finger and whispered, "Oh, Radha, opportunities offered by destiny are quickly destroyed by time. Do not hesitate to look at Hari, for his favor may never come your way again." Oh, how Radhika's treasure that stolen glance. Krishna's restless eyes were like two safaris. Mhm. His strong limbs churned the waters of fresh youth. The dark hairs on his chest announced Cupid's royal and edicts, and his graceful gestures conspired with his feverish, fresh sweetness to capture the eyes of all gopis. Remembering the Gopa prince of Vrindavan, Radhika sighs deeply, the flowers in her hand wilting from the scorching passion of her breath. Bewildered, Radha recalls the early occasion when she had hidden behind the network of creepers to watch Krishna play ball. How wonderfully he had moved as he tossed the red ball in the air and swiftly pursued it. Remembering how his large dancing eyes had followed the movements of the ball, Radhika's relishes a festival of transcendental bliss. From a distance, Lalita glances at her dear friend. Radha appears to be a statue. Her right arm is raised, her delicate fingers are poised above the flower, and her entire body is turned, unable to move. She looks like a deity commissioned by the Creator to embody the ideal forest goddess. Knowing well the heart of her friend, Lalita does not disturb Radha but continues to collect flowers, thinking, it does not matter whether or not my Sakhi fills her basket today, because we shall pick extra flowers for her. In search of fresh flowers, the gopis enter the deeper into the forest and further sway from one another, unmindful of being separated, and their fair-faced gopis are lost in thought of Krishna, whose captivating form, qualities, and behavior subdue their minds. Two types of gopis enter the forest of Pushpavan: those who desire Krishna's personal friendship, who are known in the annals of love as heroines, and those who desire to serve the heroines and that way associate with Krishna. Lalita is the leader of the first group and Rupa Manjari is of second. The gopis in both groups know that their love for Krishna is insignificant compared to Radha's. Never desire to compete with Radhika. They see their service as subordinate and complementary to hers. In this way, various moods of conjugal love grows within the hearts of the gopis. Meanwhile, bereft of reassuring company of her friends, Radha's heart smolders in separation from Krishna, feeling vacant of Hari's absence, seeking shelter of Govardhan Hill. Unhappy, Radha says, O King of mountains, you shine in this land of Gokul, and your lofty peaks touch the planets of the demigods. Please look in all directions and tell me where the crestfell of cowherd boys is enjoying himself now. When Giriraj fails to answer, Radharani speaks to a fragrant breeze. O southern breeze, laden with aroma of sandalwood, you may incite the happiness of love, but you remain empty handed. Be kind to me, O breath of the universe. Please place Madhavas before me and make me breathless. But the wind, powerless to fulfill her desire, takes an easterly course and leaves Radhika alone with her ever expanding love. The buzzing honeybees reminds her of the sound of Krishna's flute, and she thinks the humming of these bumblebees should sound sweet like a veena playing the fifth note, but instead it is like a cracking of thunderbolts. Turning away, she cries, Alas, even bees are the enemies of one considered condemned by destiny. Entering the deeper into forest, Radha expands her arm and with a voice quivering like a forlorn cuckoo, appeal to the plants and creepers. O Tulsi, abundant with beauty, O Mallika creepers, filled with charming blossoms, O land of lotus, splendid with the aura of bees, O my friends, please tell me at once where the son of Maharaj Nanda, the king of cheaters, is playing now. Radha continues to wander aimlessly through the gardens of Pushpavan. The forest is sanctified by the touch of her feet, uh, perfumed with the fragrance of her body, and enlivened by the sound of her voice. Radha's breath sweetens the air of Pushpavan, and her presence beautifies the already glorious forest. When she enters cluster of fragrant bushes known as himsa, Radha slowly returns to the external consciousness and again starts to collect flowers. Himsa have delicate aromatic flowers which are bright yellow and well suited for the garlands and decorations. Their thorns, however, are more perilous than the most, with barbed ends. Radhika moves carefully. If the thorns were to catch her clothing, she would unable to free herself, and her is no one in sight to help her. No one that is expect self-appointed God. Smartly dressed and decorated with forest flowers, he carries the implements of his trade, a sports handsome mustache, and so perfect is Hari's Mali disguise that neither Govardhan Hill nor the all-knowing sun, what to speak of the trees and forest creatures recognize him. They all think the king must have appointed a new Mali to Govardhan's forest. From a distance, be unknown to Radha, Krishna watches her movements and closely as shadow follows its form. as Radha's golden complexion touches the tree, imparting her color to them, Krishna's eyes are soothed and his heart glow. And as Radha's bodily aroma spreads throughout the forest, a fragrance that surpasses a heady perfume of the lotus smears with the kumkum. Krishna longs to fly to her like a bee pulled by the flower's irresistible scent of nectar droplets. It appears that Krishna is pursuing Radhika with his eyes, but actually her unique qualities are chasing him. And when those qualities counterattack his senses, he reels like intoxicated by excessive nectar. Krishna thinks, is this the family goddess of lustre or the goddess of youthful beauty? Is this the opulence of sweetness personified or a flood of transcendental negligence? Transcendental elegance? Uh, is this a river of bliss or an overflowing stream of nectar? Or is this Radha giving joy to my sense, all of my senses? Restlessness, eagerness, and joy transformed Krishna's body into the stages ablazing with dancing ecstasies. As he leans against a tree for support, its bough touched the ground, and its flowers blossom in joy as they reach to his lotus feet. Govinda wipes the tears from his eyes and sees Radha's raise her wine-like arm to touch a tree. By the influence of her prema, the birds of the tree quiver in ecstasy and burst into bloom, offering a cascade of flowers that fall at her lotus feet and cause goosebumps to erupt on Krishna's limbs. Observing the gardener's love inebriated condition, a pair of statue parrots become suspicious and chirps up. Only one male in Vraja exhibits such symptoms of love. Radha approaches the thorny Himsa bush and Krishna watches as she stands on her tiptoes, arms fully extended to pluck the most fragrant yellow flower. Suddenly, the top piece of Radha's cloth is caught by a thorn. Balancing herself, Radhika tries to free her cloth without success. Holding the branch, she leans back on her soles, only to be caught again by a thorn from the lower branch. As she stumbles to catch her balance, the third branch touches her shoulder and she is now caught up both front and back. At first, Radha patiently tries to free herself, but when she fails, she contests her destiny. She is furious, frustrated by her predicament. She can only cry. What was she to do? Hot tears glide down Radha's flower painted cheeks. Strained her shoulders and blessing her on the earth. She glances around like a frightened deer. Her bimber red lips quiver as she calls out. Lalita Visakha Rupa you? The only reply in silence, but for echoes of Govardhan's valleys. Who are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? When again silence prevails, no one is there to respond. Radha calls out again, Oh Lalita, oh Lalita. And although she calls louder than before, her efforts meet with no success. Again, she hears is echoes. Casting hot glances at the culprit thorns, Radha says, Oh, unfortunate, oh, unfriendly host, what kind of reception is to this to give innocent girls approaching you for alms? Are you so miserly you cannot spare even a few flowers? Whose destiny is to otherwise wither and fall from your limbs? Let me go, let me go. But the thorns are unyielding, and with every move, Radha becomes more entangled in their prickly network. Radha stamps her feet and fumes. Oh Lalita, where are you now? Oh Vishakha, hey Vrinda. Again Radha calls out Lalita, but even the syllable La dances upon her tongue. She sees a figure on the pathway. Her heart's pound in fear. Who is this? The silent figure moves towards Radhika, who stands frozen like a rabbit caught in the hands of fate. What was happening? Remembering her worshipable deity, Radha prays, O my worshipable sun god, O eye of the three worlds, O all effulgent one, please protect me, please protect me. When the figure comes closer, Radhika sees a handsome, well built youth, obviously a Mali by trade, lightening up the path with mysterious effulgence, beasts, birds, and flowers, as if hypnotized, follow his every steps, and the earth seems to tilt as if overjoyed at the touch of his feet. Had she ever seen such a person before? The air is thick with silence. The stranger appears reserved, but the meaningful look on his face reflects a wealth of deep feeling. His every sense extrudes an air of gravity, and that grave silence which causes the vibrant concert of singing birds, humming bees, rustling leaves, and splashing streams to sink into stillness is maddening. That silence pierces, and each with its intensity enchains Radha's attention, along with her heart, to the post of its mystic. That silence is sturdily drawbridge over which the shoulders of the stranger's qualities match to assail Radha's defenseless mind and senses. That silence, attended by calmness, peace, and harmony, seems to have nothing to say, but to Radha's emotions, it brings restlessness, turmoil, and conflict, and proclaim the secrets of the Vedas. That silence is a magnetic force that spontaneously attracts Radha's senses and reveals the identity of he who stands before her. That silence is munificent cloud that showers Radha with the nectar of the bluish luster, dizzies her its exhilarating sweetness and quenches the thirst of her chatak heart. The silence says, O fair-faced one, your lover, who is the musk tilak on your forehead, the musk picture on your breast, and the musk drop on your chin, the black kajal of your eyelid, and the blue lotus flower on your ears has now come to you. You are most fortunate. That silence is the only thing between Radha and the Mali as the bodily gazes, boldly gazes into her bashful eyes, then at the thorn that hold her, and then at her blushing face. That silence then merges into the ocean of their pastimes as one by one Hari meticulously removes each thorn, uh, thus freeing Radhika. Intoxicated by being close to him, she takes one faltering step backward and, with the incomparable gift of her sidelong glances, says, Thank you. Radha is like a newly blossoming champak vine growing towards a young tamal. a bolt of lightning taking shelter in the billowing cloud, ignoring the unfavorable wind of her eyes. For a moment, Radhika's Kanjana-like eyes fall upon Krishna's lotus face. And for Krishna, the Radha's face is a blooming lotus swaying on the surface of a lake, and his bee-like eyes swan around that lotus and savor its sweetness. As Radha and Shyam gaze at each other, all their senses take in each other's qualities, although their skin, they feel the breeze that. Beautiful picture. Radhika moves carefully. If the thorns were to catch her clothing, she would be unable to move, and there is no one inside to help except the self-appointed gardener, the Mali of Pushpavan, Vanamali Krishna. So, as Radha and Shyam gaze at each other, all their senses take in each other's qualities. Through their skin, they feel the breeze that caresses each other's form. And through their noses, they breathe in each other's fragrance. Through their ears, they hear the sound of each other's life breath. Through their eyes, they drink the beauty of each other's features, and through their lips, they sense the taste of each other's love. In this way, the joy of their senses increases. The arrow of Sri Radha's glance pierced Krishna's heart, afflicting his whole body with fever. But the rays of her slightly smiling moon-like face extinguish that fire and revive him. Then Krishna retracts his steps, walking backward, so he can drink through his eyes the vision of his uh, um, Priyali's now downcast face as he tries with every step to catch one final glance from her doe-like eyes. Until Hari disappears from the sight, he never turns his back to Sri Radha and never takes his greedy eyes away from her. He is like a black king cobra who has hypnotized his victim, but who is now himself hypnotized. The notes have been read.
Yes.
Jai. So here the first chapter, going to Pushpavan, and Krishna is there. Haribol, just reviving our spirit and reading Krishna Tava Kathamrtam. A compilation of different pastimes. Haribol, Ujjwal Rasagya.
He is there.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Pranams to you, Gurudev. Pranams to you. So beautiful, Gurudev. So beautiful, Gurudev. Starting from the very beginning, while Srila Shivra Maharaj shared his journey, internal journey, so mercifully with all of us. Starting from there, it's so beautiful, Gurudev. And
it's about how many years that this Tava Kathamritam was set aside. So
yes,
this is an earlier writing.
Yes, Gurudev.
We studied the later writing.
Right. Yes.
This is describing essentially the characterization of each and every aspect of transcendental beauty
Yes.
and the fragrance of both
Yes.
Radha and Krishna.
So beautiful. So beautiful, Gurudev. Yes. Actually, it's so beautiful that it just makes us feel like when when would we behold those transcendental forms? It just makes us it's so
At
wonderful.
least for the time being, Shivram Maharaj's mercy, we are allowed to peep in,
Yeah,
just peep in.
yeah, very beautiful. And the thing,
Asitaradhya, yeah, go
the
ahead.
one quick thing I wanted to mention was hearing these pastimes, especially the descriptions of Sri Radha Krishna, only based on the tattva. If the whole thing is heard through tattva, then only they are honored, and it is it takes us to the to where we belong to. But if there is no tattva, it's difficult to it just gets difficult. Either it gets sentimental or it just gets bounced back. Many things can happen. So hearing through tattva was the key. But beautiful, Gurudev. Thank you.
Haribam. Asitaradhya, did you find something new?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandat Pranam.
Yeah.
Glad to be back. Guru Maharaj, I was wondering how could Shivram Maharaj forget for over 20 years about such a beautiful writing that he did. And he has every right in the midst of the criticism to give justification for resume his writings. So that whole epilogue he brought out so wonderfully. And I'm quite amazed. And this writing says that he's empowered by Lord Chaitanya and his eternal associates through the medium of the deity. And this puts all controversies and criticism, right, into rest. Because this is such a very strong thing. Now, the deity of Krishna is coming to silence all his critics so that he can resume the writing. So today we had the glimpse of his empowerment as a writer of Radha Krishna's Leela. It would be such a wonderful thing to have his association, Guru Maharaj. Really can't wait to meet him. So this was very, very eye-opening, the way he wrote. And very humbly he says that, he had to actually do this. He would not have done it otherwise. But he had to basically do this to let everyone know that, look, Krishna is wanting me to write. And here are the deities,
Supported by all Shastras.
Yes, supported by all Shastras, correct. Yeah. Giving example of none other than Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Mm. And I found, yeah.
Those who are worshipping the deities, please put your attention more into the deity worship. So you can also meditate with their inspiration in your life. So whatever we are able to churn in the line of Leela, Krishna will help us to reveal at least some portion in our worship. Of course, it is not a sentimental thing that has been, to be churned out. Rather, we need to serve in such a way that shows our thinking pattern in whatever our Swarupa would be, you know, it will come closer to realize, okay? So we have to read so many books in order to make our Leela participation in the mood of the gopis. We are servant of the maintainer of the gopis. Gopi bhartuh padakamalayo dasa dasa dasanudas. Everybody who has their worshipable deities, please think in reference to the Leelas. Those who have Gaur-Nitai, they have to think in terms of Chaitanya Charitamrita Leelas.
Guru
Many
Maharaj.
Gopus.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, I was also quite startled to read the conversation between Shivram Maharaj and the Mataji, you know, who was
Her disciple.
looking after her deities. He said, no, you ask Krishna. Now these deities are mine. So that attachment on her part to the deities was also quite justifiable
Yeah.
for her denying Shivrang Maharaj access to his very deities. I mean, that was quite amazing for me to read. But then I
Otherwise,
think, yeah,
somebody
there's,
will get into a
yeah,
fight.
yeah. And then talking about the tattva of approaching Radha and Krishna through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shiv Ram Maharaj prays to his deities and says, that you are not Radha and Krishna are so lovely. And then by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Damodar manifest in his lives. So the whole thing is mind-boggling, is full of, you know, the tattva behind the revelation of Radha and Krishna through the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was so wonderful to see.
But you can imagine Radha Damodar being worshipped by Atmaram and Revati in a hometown village. Oh my God. Nobody's helping them at this advanced age, you know. And but they are sticking with their life and soul, you know. They don't know what is going to happen around them. But they are sticking. They can't abandon them. There's another Leela going, let me tell you. You know, so Krishna is going, when Krishna has come to take our service, he will make sure that what extent he may try, you know, but the devotees will not give up, you know. Yeah, you can exchange. Why don't you go and get another one? A disciple is telling his guru, our guru. So whoever comes in our path, in our development of devotional service, these things are coming to give us some realizations.
Yeah. But also in the previous books, by just mentioning the qualities and features of Srimati Radharani's beauty and how she comes out, how she conquers every pastime. This glance of Radha has been glorified in the previous books as well. as something
Right.
that Krishna cannot conquer, and that came out today actually as well. So it's coming out again and again, and it's so wonderful to
Yeah.
see. Now, today we didn't see many supporting quotes to the description of this
Mm.
pastime, but the yeah, description, all the euphemistic and poetic was very nice, Guru Maharaj. Can really lead
Mm.
us actually, to visualize the scene of how the whole pastime is happening. So wonderful.
Pushpavan. Yeah.
Pushpavan.
Then some Sarovar is going to be created.
Yeah.
We are
Yes.
taking think of Kusum Sarovar in our
Mm.
Rarashi.
Yes, we are.
Sundar. Everything is, going to reveal its own glories.
Mm.
All right.
Thank you,
Hare
Guru
Krishna,
Maharaj.
Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble
Haribol.
obeisances.
Jai Shri
Uh,
Prabhupada.
to from what we heard here about Shivram Maharaj's focus on getting those deities, it's just
Mm.
every waking moment he was thinking, living and breathing about it. Even going for a long walk is this in his meditation. So in order for us to serve our deities with one pointed focus and loving devotion, we have to plan our days around their service and not the other way around. They should not be part of our day. Everything else has to be, the deity's service. That's how I understand it. And then only we can serve them and make some progress.
Mm.
So it's a really good thing to learn. Every day we learn something new.
Everybody should write a little essay how their deities arrived. You know, it's not an ordinary thing that deities are coming uh, at their own sweet will,
Right.
but because they want you to serve them, he has love, that's why he has arrived.
Wow.
And we have to give our service to him to reciprocate the love.
That's true. Beautiful
See,
how he says, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Gurmaj.
Haribol.
Oh, Ujjwala Rasika, I think she may have dropped off now. She had her hand up to speak again, but I think she's left now.
Mm. See, this is another aspect of our. It's not crime to hear lok vichar, means local traditional narrations as told by the residents of Vrindavan about the origin of Sarovar, other Leelas from Ujjwal Nilamani, Govinda Lilamritam. Everything has a transcendental linkage. Transcendence is the subject matter. You can't manufacture transcendence. it can be only revealed by service attitude. Serve your deities,
Deities, yeah.
whole flesh, loving.
I like the way Shiva Maharaj explained that he served Gornita, he prayed to Gornita and started serving them because they're non-different from Radha and Krishna, and then eventually he received the deities he actually wanted to serve. It will be a good idea to write an essay how everybody, because I would like to definitely write about it, how my Gornita deities came, how Giriraj came, how Gopal came in my life over the years. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Heno bini nitai bhai Radha Krishna paite nai. Without the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu, you can't understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can only reveal Radha Krishna's pastimes. Anybody else propose? Haribol. Let's try to continue. We'll become busier in coming days.
Yeah, I think Rohini indicated that you might be free tomorrow, and Thursday was debatable. And then next week it might be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I think over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So tomorrow, then we'll meet, and then you can let us know about Thursday. She wasn't sure about Thursday.
Okay.
I know.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you very
Haribol.
much. Hare Krishna.